Hey, hello everybody. How are you? It's Alex Bennett. It's the Ramble, and I forgot to start the stream out to YouTube. But I did it at the last moment, so you didn't miss anything. You just missed all the promos, okay? Who cares, all right? Anyway, I'm dressed up tonight in my Chinese communist wear with the Obama as a Chinese soldier. We got this in Hong Kong. Looky. What? Beijing. What did I say?
Hong Kong.
Hong Kong. No. Beijing. Excuse me. Ladies and gentlemen, look who we have here. Yes, she of the broken knee
Category.
Let's talk about your litany.
Let's not.
Of what's been going on with you.
No.
Let's talk about it, because I think it's interesting that when I married her, I got her pretty much in one piece. And slowly, as I have lived with her, she's been slowly falling apart.
Well, who's to blame for that?
What did I do? Did I trip you and break your knee?
I don't hear it.
What?
I don't hear it. It stopped.
Well, then you don't hear it.
Now I hear it.
Now you hear it. Wait a minute. Well, how's it my fault?
Because
I didn't trip you.
Being near you is a disaster.
I didn't. I've been very nice lately.
Well, you have. You took your good person pill and you've been fine.
Well, I'm not taking my good person pill anymore.
It's just a matter of hours now.
But I'm not feeling as bad. Oh, you're adjusting your.
I wrapped my knee.
You look with that thing on. Can I say this? You look like a little old lady.
I am a little old lady.
If people could see this, it's like it's this bandage. It goes from her ankle all the way up to her thigh.
It's a wrap.
Yeah. But anyway, so then see, she had this whole thing with her what do you call it, with her?
I tripped and fell on my head.
Well, you were literally tripped by a tourist.
Oh, that's how it all started. Yeah.
Yeah.
In November.
You then fell on your knee.
Broke it.
Broke the knee.
Had surgery.
Had to be in a
brace, and I'm still in the brace.
In a brace for 6 weeks, and then she went back to the doctor, and he looked at it and said, well, it isn't completely healed yet, so another 6 weeks for you.
Can you believe that?
But you don't have to keep it on all the time.
At home, I could take it off.
Yeah. So she's feeling great. Okay, I mean, things are starting to heal. The knee is starting to get better. She's not in the pain she was in, and so on. And then the other day, she leaves, and because I didn't take out the garbage, she decided to on her way out the door in the morning.
That's right.
And I
tripped.
And it was my fault, right?
No, it wasn't your fault. It was my fault. I shouldn't have done it.
I should have taken out the garbage.
Well, there was an inch of space between the door jamb and the door mat.
Yeah.
And there, in that little space, I tripped and fell on my head.
And you fell on your head. And then she got headaches and was throwing up.
And dizzy.
And that is a sign of what?
Concussion syndrome.
Is that what they call it?
Yeah, they said it's a concussion syndrome.
So she went and she had headaches for days and days. She was feeling terrible. She was getting better progressively, but then the other day she went and got a MRI.
2 MRIs and a blood up the neck to the brain test and all kinds of balance tests.
Yeah, and it turns out you did have a concussion. Mm-hmm. So now she's been concussed.
And thrust.
She has a bad knee. What else is wrong? The back is still not 100%.
That's never going to be 100%.
That's never going to be 100%. So I really want my money back.
And I haven't been to the gym since November.
I haven't been to the gym since Tuesday.
Yeah, well, that's you.
I only went twice this week.
So I haven't gone at all, so there.
Well, you can't go to the gym because you can't do anything.
I know, but I miss it.
Yeah, well, you may never ride a bicycle again.
That's the first thing they want you to do.
Really?
Yeah. To get your knee to go around the whole, I can't do it yet.
But you're going to physical therapy now. Don't you love physical therapy?
It's an hour.
No, it's not an hour. It's an hour with homework.
That's true.
You know, I never liked it when the teacher said, "Oh, and we have a homework assignment for you," and I would go, "Oh, fuck." You know, if they can't teach me in an hour in class, then why should I have to go home and teach myself? Right? That's not what we're paying the teacher for.
It's practice, what you learn.
So anyway, you got yeah. You know.
So that's my story.
So that's her story, and she's sticking to it. And it really was it's quite a situation that she's been in. And I want my money back. I didn't get what I paid for. You know,
past your warranty.
Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, there are a couple of things wrong with me.
A couple?
Well, no, there's the numb feet.
Yeah.
And the touch of the cancer.
That's true.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I have cancer or not.
You'd like to have it.
Right now he says it looks like you could have the cancer everybody gets at 70 or 79 or 80 around in there, which isn't deadly, all right? But it's my new excuse anytime you want me to do anything around the house. Please,
well, I've got lots of excuses.
Not now I've got cancer. Well, it's the best thing I have against all of this physical stuff you've got. Oh, you played it up for all it was worth for weeks, and I was good about it.
You were, and I was really in pain.
I did everything for you.
Yes,
if you
did.
needed something, I got something for you.
And then it stopped. And I happened to mention it to one of my bosses.
Wait a minute, it didn't just stop. It stopped for a reason.
It stopped. And I happened to mention
it stopped for a reason.
I happened to mention it to one of my bosses, and he said, "Oh, was this just for a few days and then automatically it stopped?" I said, "Yes." He said, "That's in their DNA. Men have a DNA, and it's only for a certain amount of days that they're there and up front and everything, and then it stops." And that's what happened.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, isn't it nice?
Yeah.
Boy, aren't you swell?
So at least I got to know that it's a man thing.
That it's a man thing.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. Well,
Okay.
you know, I mean, I didn't stop. What happened was you got better. You know, and you were able to get around with the brace, but without a cane, and you didn't need all the attention. And you know, if I suddenly kept coddling you, you wouldn't get better.
Really?
Oh well, no, because
oh boy, I have to remember that line.
you women love to be coddled. You love to be just waited on hand and foot.
Oh really? And
Yes.
you,
Huh?
with your complaining all the time?
What complaining?
Oh my God! It's my foot. It's my
I
hand.
don't have any
It's my
complaints.
balls. It's my diarrhea. It's my this. It's my that.
Listen, I'm feeling blessed today. Almost blessed. Almost blessed. Because I ordered this.
You got a new toy.
No, I ordered this.
It's 10/13. I'm just saying.
I ordered this expensive Mac Pro.
The garbage can.
It looks like a garbage can, doesn't it? It's a very pretty garbage can, but it's a garbage can nonetheless. And I got it from eBay. It's a $7,000 one that I got for about $3,300. Okay? Wonderful. Okay, but that's not the point. Every time I've ordered anything lately, the problem with it is, and it's a real problem.
You have delivery problems.
We have delivery problems here. How many things don't you get?
And I don't even go for them. Let them go back to Amazon because they're all from Amazon.
Yeah, but
so let them go back to Amazon and I'll get a different one.
Somehow, because we have the nature of our apartment house is they're charging people upwards to $7,000 a month for rent, and they can't even have a doorman. All right?
They have what do they call them?
A presence.
A presence.
Some guy who sits at a desk
And reads and eats.
Reads and eats and doesn't do anything.
And doesn't go outside.
So anyway, I have to leave notes like, I'm here. Do not give up. You know.
Here's my number if you can't reach me.
Because the last time that I ordered something, it was this the server that I got, and it came and it said on Amazon it's been delivered. And I go downstairs. It hasn't been delivered. I go through every lobby in the building and up the entire stairs in our building to see if I can find it. Somehow they dropped it at a front door, something like that. And no. So finally on that Monday, I called the company and I said, they said it arrived, but it never arrived. They said, okay, well, we'll give you your money back or whatever. And you know, whatever. So I immediately went down to B&H and bought it. It was $20 cheaper. And I went down to B&H and bought it. And what I was able to do with B&H, nice tits, huh? Anyway, at B&H, I bought it. And all of a sudden, on that coming Wednesday, like almost 5 days, 6 days later, the postman finds it in the other lobby. Like, it wasn't there when I looked, but it was there now. Somebody went, whoops, we delivered it to the wrong address. Oh, let's just drop it in the first lobby here and hope nobody will notice, all right? And that caused me no amount of agita. I mean, it just, you know, because I internalize it, and I really shouldn't. I should just say, fuck it.
Yeah.
You know? But I'm looking forward to a toy to play with, and then I'm supposed to come, and then it doesn't. And this problem is inherent with, absolutely, with the post office. No question about it.
And sometimes UPS and FedEx.
Well, UPS is, I would say, 95% reliable.
And FedEx used to be reliable.
Yeah. Well, here, so now they're sending this thing by FedEx. Now the good news was it was supposed to get here next Wednesday, and I got a notice yesterday saying it was coming today. Okay, I'm getting it early. But now I'm worried because it's FedEx, and I talked to, what was it, some guy from UPS in the elevator about FedEx, and he says, oh, those guys are the worst. So I'm thinking, okay, everything's gone wrong before. What's going to go wrong today? So I leave a note downstairs saying I'm upstairs and I'm here and then don't go anywhere and ring and here's my phone number and you can call me and
deliver it.
You know, and of course they never come at 10 o'clock in the morning. They always come at 6 o'clock at night or whatever. Well, anyway, about 1:30 this afternoon, I get a today.
Was it today?
Today. I got this dreadful message that said, your package has been delivered and signed for by Schwarzman. And I'm going, wait a minute. I didn't sign for any package. And now I'm worried it's going to be the same thing that happened with the post office, right?
Right.
So I immediately go down into the lobby, and there it is. My package has arrived. And I go online, I come back up, and I go online, and I go to FedEx, and they have all the particulars about it, and they have the receipt. They have a photograph of the receipt.
Signed.
And it's signed. I don't know by who, but it wasn't signed by me. Now, you have to realize, folks, and the reason I'm yelling about this is a $3,300 purchase. You want to sign for it. You want somebody to say, hey, can you show us some identification, you know, because it's an expensive item, all right? It's not like, you know, some $19 worth of tea bags you ordered from Amazon and they got lost somewhere. So the fact that this guy, number one, leaves it in the lobby where anybody can steal it, okay, that's for starters. But then has the fucking nerve to sign my name so he doesn't have to come up to the 8th floor, knock on the door, and I even said I was here. He's had to see the note, you know. So I mean, that's what's got me all bothered. Now I'm thinking about calling FedEx and complaining.
Absolutely.
And complaining But all I can think of is if this guy ever has to deliver to me again, I'm in trouble because he'll do something like sign for it and then throw it out the door or something. Like
Probably.
that.
It's 10:20.
But anyway, I imagine this thing would come and I'd have all kinds of problems with it. And I only had one problem: I couldn't get the mouse working, so I exchanged mice and. There's a new way of getting a mouse going where you literally plug it into the computer, and then it recognizes the mouse, and so I got that going. Once I got that going, everything was just an absolute breeze, no problem.
Good.
So I'm not sitting here depressed about it or worried that something isn't working or whatever.
Can I slide over?
No, we got 10 minutes.
I'm leaving at 10:30 exactly.
Why?
Because I'm tired.
So am I.
And my knee hurts.
And my knee hurts too.
And my concussion is.
And my concussion is killing me. But I was worried about you with that concussion because here's what happened the first day. The first day, she has to write a note to
somebody in my office.
Somebody in her office. So she writes this letter about, I don't know what it was about.
And I was having trouble with it, so I asked Alex to look
at it. It made no sense at all. It was complete gibberish.
It was.
It was like, I for thou is going now to the thing that we did when we had it.
Something like that.
I mean, it's really that
bad.
That bad. You were not able to coherently write a sentence.
I know. I couldn't stand up either.
And I've never dealt with anybody who had that situation.
I never did either. So there.
As the days went, then a couple of days later, she had to write another note to her office. I said, "Let me read it first, okay?" And it was okay. And I went to myself and said, "She's getting better." But you had a concussion, and she was throwing up like crazy. And
dizzy.
And she's dizzy anyway, but
that's another story.
Now, how are we going to be able to tell when you're not concussed anymore?
When I'm not concussed?
Yeah, that's what they say. They call it.
Is that what they call it?
I think you get a concussion, and if you have a concussion, you're concussed.
You're concussed?
Yeah. And what did he say?
Concussion syndrome.
Concussion syndrome. Wow.
Yeah.
And he was a neurologist, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I have a neurologist. Gee, we have neurologists together.
Yes.
Yeah.
And dentists and internists.
You don't have a urologist though.
No, but you don't have a gynecologist.
Wait a minute.
You don't have a gynecologist.
Wait a minute. He does do women. Because in the office were all these pamphlets, they have all these pamphlets from various companies.
Yeah.
And it was like for some drug to keep women from peeing their pants. So as a urologist, he deals with women too.
Yeah, but not as much as men.
You go to the urologist office, folks, and it's nothing but old guys. In fact, on the Kaminsky method, there is an actual scene where he's sitting waiting to see the doctor in the room, and they're all old guys, and they're all he's discussing with some of them like, "How's your peeing going?" I like what what's his name, the guy's on the show with Michael Douglas. Is it it's Alan Arkin? He says, "I pee in dots and dashes now."
That's a good show. It is.
Oh, it's a very good show. But anyway, I like this. I love this cap.
Good.
The only thing is, I wish it were a better cap. It's kind of
made in China.
It's made in China. Yeah. No, and the Chinese star. I mean, I just wish I'd like to get a real. Hey, if you're in China, next time you're in China, see if you can find me a real military hat.
They'll probably have it in Hong Kong again.
Huh?
They'll probably have it in Hong Kong.
Yeah. What are you're looking at the time, aren't you? You just keep looking at the time. I'm tired.
This is a favor. I'm rolling over.
No,
so
you're
I
not.
could have
no, you're not.
5 minutes with your audience.
No.
Okay.
No, because then I have to. Well, I have it. I'm going to turn on this fan. Have to turn on the fan so that I'm feeling better. keep going. Anyway, let me see here. By the way, if you haven't looked at our Gabnet site, I've redone it.
Have you?
Well, did you notice it's redone?
I haven't looked.
I've done it in the new dark mode.
Yes.
Yeah, which is and it works. It looks pretty good, and it's got all the stuff. And we've got everything working again. We thought we had lost TuneIn, but we got them back.
And you thought you lost Skype.
Oh, and that we couldn't do a citizen panel anymore, and we found a way around that. Now, Damien says that he's not converting to the new one because he knows that as soon as he does, Skype will find a way to make sure that one doesn't work either.
That's right.
But from what I understand, they can't do that with this one. There's some reason why, because whoever took this old Skype, put it as a program on its own that doesn't rely on using the internet to get stuff to make the Skype work or whatever. And that it's really a version that they can't do anything about.
4 minutes. I'm just saying. I'm rolling over.
No, you're not.
Yes, I
rolling
am.
over. No, you're not. No, you're not. Are you really rolling over?
I want to have 4 minutes sitting next to you.
Yeah, go ahead. I've got it so you can't move. Oh, ow, you're hurting my foot.
Well, get your foot out of the way.
I'm keeping her from rolling over.
Keeping me hostage.
Well, don't fuck up my golf ball.
All right.
See, I have to use my golf ball. Really?
Yeah.
Are you over now? Oh, look at you. You see, you're not even in there.
Well, 'cause you.
Okay, let me open up the lines. What the fuck? Wait a minute. Hold on. We didn't have much to talk about, and we didn't argue. See, we lost audience because we didn't argue.
That's true.
They love it when we argue. Okay.
You love it when we argue.
What?
You love it when we argue.
Okay. Well, anyway, hold on a second. I have to do stuff. Don't screw with me here. I'm trying to get things ready. We're online, by the way, folks. If you want to call us on Skype,
please do. I'll be here for another 2 minutes.
She wanted to talk to you. That's.
I wanted to say hi.
Yeah.
Check in and say hi.
Do you know I still have a lot of snot coming out of me from that cold? Still, I mean, it's like
it's breaking up.
No, it has broken up, but it's
coming out.
It's like there's this well of snot in my body,
Alex.
and it's slowly vacating the body.
Gross.
What do you mean it's gross? Snot is not gross. Snot is gooey. Snot is not pretty. But if you were snot, you'd want people to have more respect for you. Okay, now you see, we go early and nobody calls.
Well, so I'm finished my last minute and a half here.
Well, here comes Phil Meyer.
Hi, Phil.
Okay.
It's Josh Wheeler.
Wait a minute. Okay, and then we add Josh to the group. Josh Wheeler to the group.
Hey, Josh.
Hey,
Phil.
Hi.
Hey, I'm not near the microphone.
Yeah, well, you sound okay.
Yeah. Well, Josh, are you there? Apparently, Josh has got a problem, I think. Oh, there we go. Here comes Josh. Yeah, now we're okay. Yeah. In a moment, it'll whirl around for a little bit, and then we'll get it. There we go.
Sorry that you're not fully out of that cast. Your leg irons.
My brace?
Yeah.
Well, she's out of the brace. She's not wearing the brace right now.
But I have to wear it outside. Yeah. I have 6 more weeks.
Wow.
Let's see here. Let's see here. Out of the 5 people that are here right now, only 1 is not a sick person, and that's Josh Wheeler. I mean, we got Charlie is missing some toes. Phil is missing a prostate. I've got at least numb feet. Okay.
And a touch of the cancer.
And maybe a touch of the cancer. We don't know. And
I have bone problems.
Okay. Here comes Charles.
Hey,
now.
Charlie.
Hey, Charlie.
Hi. Hi, Margaret.
Hi.
Turn off your audio, will you? You're listening.
Didn't I?
No. It's coming through. There we go. Now you're fine.
Guys, it's 10:30. I'm going to say early good night to you. Good seeing you, Charlie, Phil.
She's using the leg and her concussion as an excuse.
Kiss, kiss.
Well, she's just trying to one-up you. If, you got cancer, she's got the leg issue.
Thank you, Phil.
Show them the leg as you leave when you stand up and you're walking out. This looks like a little old lady wearing like those rubber socks or whatever, that old ladies wear. Look at this.
This is what I wear under the brace.
Yeah. Wow.
There you go. There.
All right.
Wait a minute. Let me do it so that the audience can see it. Okay. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. There we go. There's the audience. Okay. That's
me.
That's her. That's.
So don't do that anymore.
That's the way she is.
Yeah. Anyway, hello. Now we got. Let me see here. I got to do some adjusting because my picture is jumping in on top of Rob's. Hello, Rob. How are you?
Oh, I got to bring the mic down. Good.
Yeah.
Friday. I'm very happy it's Friday.
Yeah. It's Friday.
Yeah.
Hey, later, Rob, I want to ask you about what Mueller said and in response to the BuzzFeed article about Cohen and Trump.
Yeah, supposedly he said that it's not
Not accurate.
not true. It's not accurate.
Not accurate.
But BuzzFeed is standing behind it.
Well, of course.
Did Mueller say that?
Yes.
Somebody from his team made a statement saying it's not accurate.
It's not accurate.
Yeah.
Well, it could be. There's some truth to it, but the statement as it was made was not accurate. Listen, don't worry, Phil. In the end, you're going to find your boy being like wearing.
So far, the dossier's not correct. The
What do you mean?
statement's
A
not
whole bunch
accurate.
of things are correct from the dossier.
Yeah, what? They're pissing on the on Trump?
Well,
That's the only thing they haven't verified yet. But not the only thing. That's one of the things they haven't verified yet. But there are a whole bunch of things that are.
Yeah.
Everybody
All right,
around him is going to prison. That's correct.
Well, no, they'll get pardoned.
They're going to prison, whether they get pardoned or not.
they're going to prison, and
They're going to prison.
and Trump will be joining them shortly.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if there is justice in this world.
Well,
That's a big if.
all right. Well, here was your opportunity to say that you were wrong about the BuzzFeed thing.
You weren't wrong. It was an erroneous, maybe.
Right.
Everybody that has been reporting it, and I say this because I have noticed this, has been very, very careful to say that it's all alleged and has not been proven, and we don't know that it's true. We are
Well,
simply
why would you
let me finish.
report
Let me finish. They were saying this is what BuzzFeed is reporting, and they're standing by what they say. But every one of them has said this is alleged by BuzzFeed. Our independent sources, for instance, here at MSNBC, have not been able to verify it.
Right.
That's an odd statement. Independent sources at MSNBC?
No. They didn't say independent sources. I didn't say that, Phil. I said in our.
You said our independent sources at MSNBC.
Our. We've tried to verify it at MSNBC, and we cannot verify it. Okay.
But they don't care.
Well,
don't
believe
need
it or
to
not,
verify
that's the same way Fox is reporting it and the same way CNN is reporting it.
I don't think so.
Yes,
But,
it is. I watched them. I watched all three of them.
Yeah, and okay. Well, I got you on that one.
No, you didn't get me on anything.
Oh, yes.
One for 99. Okay, you got us.
It's an improvement.
1 for 99.
Josh, when you first called this program, was Phil around at the time? I think he was, wasn't he?
I think so, because I called the very, very beginning. I mean, the first show, I think. So, did he call then?
I don't know. I don't know. I think he did.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, yes.
Yeah, but
No, it was about 2 weeks in because I was waiting to get my new mic.
Well, all I'm saying, is nothing has changed, Josh. Yeah, nothing. Nothing.
No, nothing.
Yeah.
You know, and I just, you know, I'm upset by a president who. I saw this woman on TV today. Admittedly, she may be the only case of this happening, but still, it's a sad commentary on the government situation, where she is selling her plasma, which is more difficult than selling your blood. Your blood, they just take your blood out of you. When they take plasma out of you, they suck the blood out of you, remove the plasma, and then put what's left back in you. And she's selling it.
I thought they used that circular thing to get to separate the
Yes,
plasma.
they do, but then they put your blood back in. And she said she gets $50 a time. She does it, and that's
it's gone up. Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's trying to pay her.
How much
bills.
does she get for a blowjob?
She may be considering that next, but she didn't say.
All right.
When I used to do that 20 years ago, it was $20 a
But
pop.
the stories that we're beginning to hear about, we're hearing two kinds of stories. The sad story is, of course, that there are people who are out of work, who are not getting an income, who are doing everything they can to make ends meet, don't know where their next meal is coming from. And the good news is there are a lot of people out there who are helping them out. There are a lot of banks that have said, don't worry about the loan till this thing is over with. There are, not every bank, but a lot of banks. People like, I think Fios have said, don't worry about your cable bill. We'll take care of it for the time being. And then when you're back on your feet again, we'll have you find a payment plan to pay it back. So there are a lot of companies and people who are doing nice things. They've opened up, believe it or not, food kitchens for these people. I mean,
a lot of restaurants have offered.
But don't you find, you know, it? By the way, in a recent poll, most Americans blame Trump for this.
Yeah,
you know, because
he took the blame from the beginning.
He took the blame from the beginning, but now he's trying to divert it off onto the Democrats, and it's not working because he said, "I'm going to do it, and you can blame me for it."
Well, tomorrow's a pivotal day.
Well, how's it pivotal?
3 o'clock.
Yeah, Trump plans to make an offer to end the shutdown tomorrow, not declare a national emergency. So we'll see what that is. He's going to be on television tomorrow, and he has a plan.
What's he going to do? Cave and then claim he won?
Well, he could do that. And you know what? Presidents have done that before, and that would actually be respectable.
Yeah.
Because he's the president, and he's got his people hurting.
Mm-hmm.
So if he did that, that would be respectable.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we'll see what his plan is.
Yeah. It was it's going to be, but it is kind of sad. But we'll get into that in a little bit. You know, is there anything happy we can talk about?
Yeah, I want to hear
It's
about your
Friday.
new computer.
About my new computer.
You said you had a hard time getting it, that somebody signed for it, and
not somebody. The FedEx delivery guy signed for it.
You know, the plant that I work in
Yeah.
has been having that same exact issue for months now. With the FedEx guy comes every day, at least once, sometimes twice.
Hmm.
And there's always, you know, the same guy working the dock or whatever, but sometimes he's not around, he's taking something somewhere else, and the FedEx guy doesn't want to wait for him or come into one of the offices, and he will just leave all the stuff there. And we've gone back and looked for packages that were supposed to come to my department or something, and we can't find it, for example, and you know, they do the same thing you did. They look it up, you know, in the FedEx. Here's a picture of the receipt. Oh, and it was signed by you know, Mr. Moore, the dock attendant, you know, by S. Moore. And then they go and they look up, you know, they call up to HR and they say, hey, did he even work this day? And they're like, no, he was on vacation that day. I mean, he wasn't even there. So you know the FedEx guy is, you know, doing that.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
Yeah, and in
Right.
this case, this is a $3,300 purchase. Okay.
Well,
You know.
that's
Isn't
right.
that would be, if that were the U.S. mail, that's mail tampering, isn't it?
Right, and
Yeah.
my department has been missing things that are like critical to plant operations,
Yeah.
you know, and we can't find it. And you know, I don't know how many people listening have worked in like a manufacturing environment or whatever. If they have, then they're going to understand when I say they freak out over, oh my, this isn't running. This is an emergency. I mean, it's just everything's on a schedule. When it's not on schedule, it's a big deal.
Well, what bothered me, as I say, is because it is a high ticket item. And the reason why they wanted a signed signature for it was because they wanted to make sure it got to your front door and that you were okay, and you got it all right. And
what if there's something going on with their union or something? Because if it's like an epidemic,
are they unionized?
Yeah, I don't.
Well,
I don't
UPS in New York is unionized.
Yeah, I don't think FedEx is. I'm not sure, but I know my brother is a P&D, a pickup and delivery driver for UPS. Mm-hmm. But before he worked for UPS, he did the same exact thing for FedEx. And my understanding was FedEx is mostly like subcontractors. Like FedEx has a route in my little town, and it takes 2 guys to do the route every day, so I can start a business, and then I hire 2 guys to drive the FedEx trucks. I buy the truck, put their stickers on it, etc., and then I can pay them basically, as far as I understand it. If I'm wrong, someone needs to call and explain it better, but then you can pay those, like they pay you X for the route, and then you can pay your guys whatever you want. You can pay them a shit ton, or you can, treat them like, hired slaves, basically, or whatever you want to do. And that is how FedEx works. But UPS is everyone works for the company UPS, like where I work. It's unionized. It's all the same. It's, all that kind of stuff. But I think FedEx is like the opposite. And then you have DHL, which is just a joke.
Yeah, well, all I'm saying is that, and I'm thinking about complaining because, it got to me okay. I managed to get it, but it was sitting down there in the lobby, and if I didn't know it was down there, if I wasn't waiting for these messages to come through, somebody could have stolen it, walked away with it.
Was it insured?
I have no idea. I don't think it was. It must.
It wouldn't be as easy. If it got lost, it would not be as easy as Amazon because you bought it off of a guy on eBay. Not that you wouldn't get your money back, but it wouldn't be as slam dunk as, like, say, Amazon.
These people seem to be pretty decent. I mean, they run a company down there called Mac something, I can't remember, and they have all these.
Daddy?
They have
Mac
all
Daddy,
these.
That's what I was thinking.
All these. No, it wasn't Mac Daddy. It was refurb. They're refurbished and. In this case, they said superb condition. There was not a scratch on it. Not a scratch. It looked, if I showed it to you right now, you'd go, oh, you just bought that today down at the Apple store, huh? Because it looks that good.
The way they finish it, that cover,
yeah.
I don't think it can scratch unless you dropped it.
What do you mean?
It's like a anodized metal.
Well, it's metal. It is metal.
Yeah.
Because it came today, and because it's been traveling across the country in cold weather, it was ice cold. Even though it was wrapped up and everything, it was ice cold. So I let it sit out for a while before I even turned the damn thing on.
Yeah.
Just
put it in the microwave under defrost.
So far, no buyer's remorse. I mean, this thing is just a killer. I mean, 12 core. 64 gigabytes of memory, a terabyte of flash memory.
SSD?
Yeah, SSD, and it powers through. Programs that used to take a minute to load in takes like, 10 seconds.
Well, when you start doing stuff in Photoshop and you move the slider, or you click on something, it'll render almost immediately, rather than have to. There's no lag.
Yeah. Well, I don't use Photoshop that much. I use it for Final Cut Pro and things like that.
Okay. Well, same thing.
And it's very, very fast. Very fast. It's an amazing piece of equipment. Which I was going to keep in the guest room and play with it there and do a lot of editing and stuff there. But it's so good that I'm trying to figure out how I can have it replace my main Mac Pro here in the office because it's that good. Okay.
I know how you can do it. You move it from that bedroom into the office and plug it in.
Yeah, well, that's about what I'm going to do, But I'm saying at first I got to get everything loaded into it, and then I also have external hard drives that are representing the internal hard drives of the Final Cut Pro, And as soon as I'm sure that everything that I'm using I can continue to use as is, I'll be doing.
Just use the hard drives for your data and put your programs on the SSD.
No, I don't have to do that.
You don't have to, but
no, they load just as fast off of that the other. I only put programs in that I use constantly. But the thing is that I'm going to have to. There are things that I'm going to have to get working there and get them ready to work over here, because all the stuff I do, like posting the shows and things like that, I do on this Mac Pro. So I've got to make sure that I'm ready to go to do that, and that everything is smooth, and that I'm not going to have a lot of trouble. If once I get it in and it's working, and I pretty much have the same system I have here, or representative of it, then we're okay. Then we're. You
could use one of those. They have those utilities that are. They take what do they call them?
Copy utility, or
yeah, it's like a personality utility that takes all of your settings from your one computer and moves it to the secondary.
Yeah, the only problem is in trying to do that with this, and that makes it impossible to do. Is that I'm going from a machine that has hard drives in it, 4 terabyte hard drives in it, and I'm going to a thing that has an SSD, okay, a 1 terabyte SSD. So then I've got all these other external drives that represent the current drives that I have in here, so that I can go to them and reference them, and I know where stuff is put, and so on and so forth. But that's the thing I've got to do seamlessly, and that's going to take time to get it all going. But I would love to have it in here, but I don't even know where I'm going to put it.
Is it silent?
Oh, it does make. I don't hear
it a little, but it's silent compared to.
I don't hear
most.
it. I don't hear a sound coming out of it.
Really?
Don't hear a sound
Alec,
coming out of it. Yeah.
I bought a piece of hardware that let me transfer from one drive to another.
No. But that's how I got stuff onto these external drives. I use a thing called clone whatever, something clone, and it makes an exact copy of the drive onto. I take an 8 terabyte drive, split it into 2 partitions, make it into 2 drives, and then I use that to clone an exact copy of the drive onto there.
I see.
You see, but
yeah, but you have the SSD now.
But the SSD throws the whole thing off.
Yeah.
They're small.
It's not fact that they're small, as much as it is that they have a different purpose, okay, than a hard drive. A hard drive has a certain purpose, plus it stores a lot of other stuff too. So I've really got to just be able to get everything working so that I can, on a weekend, I can move stuff over here, and I'll have some problems, but I'll be able to adjust it. And I got to figure out where I've got room to put it. I can't put it back there. I could put it on the floor over here.
Except for if you have to turn it on and off with the button for one reason or another, it's hard to get to. It's hard to even see the button.
Yeah, but I don't have that problem. I mean, but I don't know where I'm going to put the machine. It's a small machine. It's only about this round. I mean,
it's rare that you have to do anything with it.
I have it
behind your monitor.
I have it sitting on top of my Mac Mini right now. That's how big the footprint is. You know, and very light. Very light. I think they weigh under 5 pounds, something like that. And to get inside, to open it up, to see all the drives, and maybe to replace memory or whatever, you just flick a little switch, the whole tube comes out. You can see all the inner workings of the thing, and then you can put the tube back in. Yeah. Here, you can show them. You can show them what we're talking about. That's it. That's the boy.
What's it called?
It's the Mac Pro.
Oh, okay. I'm going to get one.
Yes. Yeah, they're in the configuration I have. Get ready to spend $7,000.
New.
I'm not going to get one.
New.
New.
And this is the one I bought was used, and I paid $3,300 for it.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'll do that.
Professional machine.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
but I built a PC. It's professional.
Yeah,
It
you
still
can't-
doesn't
you
work
can't
as
build
good as
these.
Mac.
I'll tell you something.
You can't build these.
To be honest
I'm
with
glad
you,
I built my
to
own.
be honest with you, depending on what you want to do with a piece of equipment, the Mac is very good for things with audio and video and photography. The PCs are very good at things like accounting and secretarial work and even making websites and things like that. Yes, Rob.
Pieces aren't good for shit. They're just cheap.
Well, they're
Well,
good.
unless you build your own. If you build your own, it's different.
It's still
because they
crap.
don't-
It's,
The
what
problem with building
Mine's
your
not
own,
crap.
the problem
I
with
don't-
building
I
your
don't- I
own
don't
is
need to-
the components
Right.
aren't always set up to work with each
Yeah,
other.
no,
Like
my-
if you
my-
buy something from HP, all those components are tested and they know that they're compatible. But when
Okay,
you
so-
build your own, there's
No, that's not true. My son is an MIS person, and he knows exactly where to go. He knows exactly what goes with what, and there are websites that tell you.
Absolutely,
and
there
it's-
are.
And I bought everything that works perfectly together.
Yeah,
I bought
they
it
do.
all on
They
Amazon.
don't
He put it together
last.
for me in a half an hour. The thing worked.
back
But they
in the
don't
80s.
last.
Back in the
They
80s,
just don't last.
I built three,
I don't
four.
know, man.
I
I've had
built
this thing forever.
in the 80s. I built 486 computers. I went to this place called Domino's, and they sell you the parts and so forth, and you plug it all in.
Well, there
and-
wasn't much to do. There wasn't much to do. You had a power supply, and the power supply had wires that came out of it that went into everything that needed power, like your hard drives or whatever. And you got a case, and you got yourself some hard drives, and then you got yourself a main processor, and that was it. That's all you needed.
Yeah.
You know.
Who was the guy?
Oh,
that
you had to have an audio board too, right?
Alex, who was the guy that I can't remember his name? He owned that bagel place down off Chestnut Street.
You mean the stuffed bagel?
Stuffed bagel. He went into doing setting up. What do you call it? Where computers talk to each other. And so I made the three 486s, and then he came in and he set up a program called Lantastic, and it allowed me to look at what was on the other one, and two computers could print to one printer, and it was an interesting thing.
Well, I use a PC for this show every night. That's what does the video, it does the switching on the video, all of that. And I've been very happy with the PC for this function. For this function, it has been almost flawless. Okay.
I haven't had it. I have one desktop. It's in the studio. It's a Windows machine. Right? I'm sorry I have it, but it's better than a laptop that's a Windows machine. You cannot beat a laptop Mac. You pick up the lid, instant on. You work with it. You could stop wherever you are, close the lid, nothing's lost. There's no got to figure out what's going on, and hard drives churning. They just got it figured out. Mac is just elegant. It's built
functional.
Freaking metal.
I would have never.
I agree.
For
Can't
instance,
kill it.
the difference between a PC and a Mac is this: I would have never bought a PC off of eBay. But
That's true.
But I would buy a Mac off of eBay because
agree with you
my
there.
feeling is I have a Mac Pro sitting here that's been sitting here since 2011. Right? It's been on pretty much for all that time.
Think about that.
Yeah. It has not gone bad once on me. I never have had to replace a part or do anything like that. So I figure I get a Mac Pro secondhand, save over 50%, maybe 60% of the original cost, and I've got a machine that's probably going to last me quite a while. This is a 2013 Mac Pro, but I don't know when it was made. It could have. It came with what was it? Not the last OS.
Sierra.
No, it was Sierra. not High Sierra, but Sierra.
Yeah.
And then there was High Sierra. And so you got to figure it's maybe 4 years old. Okay. This thing's going to keep working for quite a while.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is, with all the Windows
by the
machines,
way,
and I was a Windows guy.
By the way, if you
I
bought a Mac Pro today, it would say 2013 on it.
Yeah, that's what mine says.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they don't make
I
it.
bought
Even if
mine
they were
from a
made
friend.
yesterday. Yeah.
I bought mine from a friend who did a lot of heavy video editing on his, and then he ended up deciding to sell it, and he got a PC, but it was close to $10,000. It had so much going on with it. It was such a strong machine, and he did a lot of research before he did it. But when he sold me this. This was a $4,000 machine, maybe a little bit more, $4,400, and new. But I bought it for $2,000. And
So a lot of the professional, like Avid and such, work off PC now.
yeah,
So
Well-
like if you do professional editing, Avid and all that, those are PCs. They've gotten away from Mac for some reason. I couldn't tell you why.
Too expensive.
I can see why.
Maybe.
I can see why. I think that, you're talking here about with a Mac Pro. You're talking about a pretty sophisticated piece of equipment. The less sophisticated the equipment is, the less problems you're probably going to have with it.
But the Mac Pros, I mean,
Well, if for instance the main board goes out on this thing, that's $1,400 to replace.
yeah.
With a
this,
PC, you just buy a new PC.
yeah,
When I bought this,
disposable.
I was toying with the idea of getting one, but I wouldn't have switched from that Mac Mini unless this deal had come along. When he said, "Okay, $2,000," I said, "Okay, I'm in." And otherwise, I probably wouldn't have bought it. That Mac Mini was just fine.
Until I got into Macs in the early, probably around 2010 was the first time I got a Mac. From the 90s on, every Windows machine I've ever had, in a year, you have to
Slowed down.
reinstall Windows. Because of all the updates and all the crap, they run like shit.
Well, all I'm saying
This
is
Mac, I've never reinstalled this. I've upgraded it,
yeah.
but I've never reinstalled an operating system because it was working wacky or slow or sluggish. They just freaking are awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I got this thing, and I paid for it in a kind of interesting way. So, because I'm using it to edit photographs. Okay.
So your inheritance probably paid for it.
Yeah, because I'm doing work on that.
Yeah.
See, so I need that. And I'm going to do a documentary on her too, with all the photographs and so on. So, but the fact is that I would have never bought this if I bought it brand new. Okay, it's just too expensive, right? It doesn't make sense.
And the
Is it
new one,
upgradable at all?
Is it upgradable? I could.
Is there any upgradable?
he doesn't have to. He's got everything in there he needs.
All the memory the memory's
but still-
upgradable, but I've got 64
You're maxed out.
64 gigs in there.
So you couldn't put
well,
in-
no,
you couldn't buy
actually,
new processors.
actually, I think I could get other memory and bring it up to 128.
Really? I
Yeah.
didn't know.
Yeah.
I thought 64 was a max on it.
Yeah,
That's the one thing. My Windows machine in there, I could go in there and take out that processor and put in a new one, faster.
the Windows.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's I bought it from a company, a custom made. I didn't buy an HP or a Dell or whatever.
Well,
I bought a machine that was built for a studio because I wanted quiet.
Well, what I like about this too is that you can add memory to it or take memory away or whatever. You can probably change the SSD in there to a 2 terabyte if you wanted to spend that kind of money. But you could do all of that with this. You can't do that with the Mac Mini. The other option was to buy a Mac Mini in the new configurations, but I don't think they had anywhere the power at a reasonable price that this one would be. Okay.
Yeah, my old one was pretty powerful.
By the way,
you know?
let me knock on wood, but this thing looks like it's going to serve me just fine for quite a while. Plus, this company offers extended warranties for up to
Did you get it?
3 years. No, I don't think so. I'll tell you why. Because if something goes bad with it, I'm going to call them on Monday and ask them, but if something goes bad with it, it's not like I can take it down to somebody locally and get it fixed. I have to mail it back to them in California to take advantage of the...
Are you sure?
Yes. So, but I'm going to call them and ask them, but I think that's the case. And if that's the case, it's not worth it to me. You know?
Yeah,
Who's
you're
got a
better off
train?
dealing with Apple.
Huh?
Who's got a train in their backyard?
Oh, that's me. There's a train. Let me turn my mic off.
Oh.
No, that's okay. We love the sound of
Hey, Ray, can you sing
Yeah.
that song? There's a train a coming.
There's
I
a
hear
train
the-
a-coming.
I hear a train a coming. It's going round the bend. I ain't been somewhere since
well,
I don't know when.
I'm so used to it
I'm
that
All
I
right.
didn't
stuck
notice it.
for some prison.
Well,
It
Now,
comes
now,
at 3
now,
o'clock in
Alex
the
owes
morning
50
sometimes.
bucks.
I hear that train a coming.
What?
It's rolling round the bend. Okay, that's it.
Now Alex owes 50 bucks.
Why? Oh, yeah. Okay.
Copyrights for that song.
Copyright for the song. No, because we didn't use 32 bars.
Yeah.
No, that wasn't 32
And it
bars.
was parody.
No.
It was a parody, so you get to use that.
I hear the
law.
train a coming, it's coming running, man. Ba, 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 da, da, da. That would
I'm
be
stoked.
32 bars. Oh, wait a minute! I just spent
It's four
50
times.
bucks.
Da-da-da-da.
You know,
Well,
that's
just
the
spent
other thing,
You just spent 3,000.
folks. I would love to start a music program on Gabnet,
Too.
huh? And you
I would
would
love
too,
that,
right,
too.
Rob?
Yeah. I'd actually fix my studio.
Yeah. Well, I've been looking into it. You know how much it would cost, and none of the deals make sense.
What's
Have you
about 500 a
looked
year?
into it? No, it's not just 500 a year. It's some weird algorithm that was invented by a Martian.
What about all these people that do internet radio stations? They spend that much money? Guys that run radio stations out of their homes and stuff?
Well, I'm still looking for the deal, right, that works. But I think you have to write down everything you play. You know, the thing is that with the preponderance of podcasts, it would do these music licensing organizations a lot of good if they came out with a very simplistic, non-commercial license. I would be willing. I would be willing to pay $500 a year if I could play anything I wanted to play.
But then that competes with the commercial stuff that they're making a lot of money on.
No, they're not.
Right?
No.
Well, don't they? You said that they pay per song.
No. For instance, do you know how much the license a year is?
I thought it was $500.
Wait a minute. You know how much Sirius satellite radio pays
Oh,
a year
man.
for music?
Oh, a lot of money. They got sued, right?
No, that wasn't that. That was just one little deal with Flo and Eddie. But
Fluorescent Legion Eddie.
yeah, they pay, if I remember correctly, the last time I was there, $250 million a year in music licensing.
It's nuts.
Wow.
Well,
must have
for
went
them-
up because
well,
they just raised the fee again.
Yeah, but for them, to be honest with you, I don't think it is nuts, Rob, from this standpoint. They have about 50% of their programming are music channels and non-commercial music channels. And they make their money off of those music channels. So if they're bringing in, let's say, $5 billion a year, don't you think the record companies are owed $250 million of that for the using
Well, it's not
the
the
music?
record companies.
It's the publishers. The publishers.
publishers, yeah.
By the way, people don't realize this. The artists don't get any money.
Yeah. Ask-
Only the right
BMI.
songwriters. Yeah. But you know, if they would just come out with a plan that was like $500 a year and you could play all you wanted to play as long as you weren't on a commercial channel, you didn't have any commercials, I'd be happy to pay that $500 and let Rob come on and play all the music he wants to, and I would have my Frank Sinatra show, and you know. But the cost is, I can't find the Yeah, if they could just tell me, hey, here's what you're going to have to pay per year in order to play everything, and I can't find it out. There's no place to go and get that information. Now, if somebody wants to do the research for me, please.
So you mean they'll just tell you that you'll get a bill. We don't know how much.
Well, it isn't that. It's that I can't find out the exact amount. There's no place where you go and they say, okay, if you're non-commercial and you're not running commercials and you're a podcast, you're a podcaster, here's the podcaster rate. And that it's all of the music publishing, it's ASCAP and it's BMI, okay? And we'll
so what's the question again? How much do you how do you find out how much it'll cost to get like a Sony, or which package do you want?
We don't want a package. I want the ability to I have thousands of songs here in my music library. I want to do a show. I want to be able to play any of them.
Well, I'm asking my friend Barry, who does this for stations, but
no, he won't know. He won't know.
Yeah. Well,
plus you said Barry doesn't do music stations. He does talk stations.
No, he does country.
Does country.
They're all country. They're all country stations.
The licensing, and if that licensing is entirely different, they're probably paying like $100,000 a year or something like that. Some amazing amount of money.
Yeah, he does the logs and all of that stuff for these.
And then you have to do logs for him too.
Yeah.
So I mean, I would just like a service that for podcasters, all it fits all. And if they did it, they would probably make a ton of money for the publishers. Because Ray's got a podcast. He'd love to play music.
I can only play music that my friends have published that they let me play.
Yeah. I got a song here I can play because a friend of mine did it.
Yeah.
I could probably play. They're playing our song by from the hit show. They're playing our song that was written by Marvin Hamlish, because Marvin Hamlish told me I could use it anytime I wanted to.
So, Alex, I just found here there's a company called Sound Exchange.
Yes,
charges
I know.
Non-commercial webcasters a flat rate of $500, but it also charges additional per-month fees for all transmissions over 159,140 aggregate tune hours per month.
Now, see, what does that mean? That I saw that $500 for Sound
24/7.
Exchange. What?
That sounds like 24/7.
Yeah, you would never do that on Gabnet.
Yeah, but what does it say? What does it say? How much? What's the aggregate time?
1 ATH is one person listening to your. Oh, so it's not what you broadcast. One aggregate tuning hour is one person listening to your station online for 1 hour. If 2 people listen to your station online for 30 minutes, that's 1 hour. If 6 people listen for 20 minutes, that's 2 hours. So
possibly 4 hours a month for Gabnet.
No, so my question is, how much? What does it say? How much?
Those non-commercial webcasters who do not exceed 44,000 ATH per year fall under the non-commercial microcaster category, while non-commercial microcasters are also charged a flat rate of $500. They can waive the requirement to submit monthly or quarterly reports to Sound Exchange for an additional $100. So it would cost you $600. And you would then waive the
reporting.
You wouldn't have to
do the reporting.
Report in.
Okay, so if I paid $600 a year, okay, I'm ready to do that. I'll sign up immediately. Okay, just so you can do a show, Rob, because that only comes out to $50 a month. That's not a lot of money. But how many hours do I get out of that, say, per month or per week?
It is, but it's based on who streams it, it seems.
You mean the listening?
Go back to that.
I took that as you couldn't exceed 44,000 total hours of people listening to you in a year.
Yeah.
Per year, that's right.
Yeah, so if you stayed under that, you were in that microcaster category. But if you were to go over that, I don't have any idea if you're.
Let's
in
say-
that.
How do they know?
I have no
How do
idea.
they know?
Let's say I had 500 people listening to me every time I did one of these shows. That would be 500 aggregate hours if they listened for 1 hour.
That's right.
44,000 is a lot.
Yeah, because you would not. Gabnet is still going to be Gabnet. It would not be a music channel 24/7. So
How do they know how many people are listening?
yeah, that's a really good question.
Yeah.
And then I guess it would also be, would that cover your entire network every day, all year, or could you just basically, would it only count, like if Rob did a show, for example, are they only going to go off of people listening
I think
to
it's
that show?
the network owns the
It
license.
would be the music only. It wouldn't be the talk. If you're doing
Let's say
this program,
if I
the
did
Ramble,
if
it
I
wouldn't
did
count.
if I did an hour a day and I had 10 people listening to me, I'd never make that 44,000 per
Right.
year.
So you could probably do that deal then. So when does Rob start?
I might do it. I do I do a lot of theater and musical theater stuff, and I can never play the music.
Can I call and bitch that he's not playing the stuff that I wanted to hear?
I just wonder what packages that gives you access.
And
to.
here's what
you said I don't want to buy a package, but you have to. From what I understood, you had to sign with Sony. You had to sign with
No.
this one and that one.
No. This is ASCAP, BMI, and CSAC.
Right.
Oh.
And it's Sound Exchange, right?
Check
Yeah.
it out.
That's
Now,
what CSAC is. Yeah.
Here's the thing. I mean, I'd do it in a heartbeat, but
Eligible.
here's the other thing that they can't compute, and this is the problem. Let's say I buy the one where I don't have to tell them what I played. All right.
Right.
Let's say I do the Ramble here. I play 2 songs during the show. How do we figure out the aggregate on that?
Yeah, I don't
The
know.
song is
that
3 minutes, so you got 6 minutes times. If it's 2 songs, you don't have to figure it out because you don't have to report it for $100.
Yeah, you don't have to report it.
So
You're going to be under that.
So how are
44,000.
they going to know?
They're not going to know.
So are they
it's-
just collecting the money and keeping their fingers crossed?
Exactly, I think. Yeah,
As
you're a
long as the artist
non-commercial
don't report it.
webcaster. You're and you fall into that category of you don't have that many listeners. So
Send
take
me
someone
an
to
email
report
with
you.
the page I can go to on that. Let
this
me
is
look
that
at it.
Prometheus Radio Projects page. I googled.
I'm
Yeah.
looking at the Sound Exchange page right here. They
Yeah.
have all the rates and everything.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
if it's $600 a year and I can play music anytime I want to, I'm your bitch. You know.
Yeah.
I wonder why more people wouldn't do it.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
do it if it makes sense.
A lot of people do it. You know how many radio stations there are? There are a ton of internet radio stations.
Let me ask my friend Barry to research it. What's it called again? Sound what?
Sound Exchange.
Sound
What is it?
Exchange?
Yeah, yeah. Your friend Barry probably won't know about how you do it for small little outfits like us. But 44,000. Let's see
He's
how
up like 20 hours a day. It'll give him something else to do.
Yeah, but what would be 44,000? We'd have to divide that into a year's worth of time and see how many.
No, because not all shows play music.
No.
and-
That's not what I'm saying. I'm trying to find out what
it equals.
if I wanted to play music 24/7. How many people could I have listening to me at any one time and still not hit the 44,000?
How do you figure that though? So you mean to say if you did an hour a week and like a show that was an hour a week?
Well, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Let me get out my little calculator here. Okay. Let's see here. 365 days in a year times 24 hours a day equals. Oh, that's only 8,760 hours a.
How many?
It's only 1,760 hours in a year.
So if one person listened to you 24/7, 365,
Yeah.
that's how many hours it is. So now do the math of how many times that equals 44,000.
Well, 40, that'd be about five people listening 24/7.
Yeah, so if you figured if you did, what happens if you did 4 hours a week of music programming?
If I did 24 hours of music
No,
programming?
No.
4
Just
hours.
4 hours a week of music programming.
Now, are the reruns
Well, here, wait a minute,
charged
Claire.
again?
Wait a minute.
Wouldn't be any reruns.
Oh, it'd just be live.
Yeah, but the Gabnet is not it's a talk network, right? So this is
Well,
just
we do have reruns of the shows, and I probably maybe play a couple of pieces of music in there. But
but that wouldn't count. I don't think that counts.
let's see here. What did you say? 4 hours times 365.
No. 4 hours times 4 hours a week. Let's
You got
say.
4 days
4
a
hours
week, and it's only four broadcasting days in the
No,
week.
no. But if let's say I put it in the programming here.
Yeah.
All right. But let's say we only do 4 hours a day. That comes out to 1,460 hours a week. I'll tell you something. We could easily do it and not hit that number. And I don't think there's any way they can figure out whether we hit that number or not anyway.
They can't. They can't. It's
How
so
would
hard
they?
to figure out the stats on these things.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all way off.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how these internet stations are getting away with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I think
can't
most of these
prevent it.
internet stations aren't even signing up.
What
the
did you say the
service?
name? The
They
name?
Yes,
just-
they are.
No, they just
Yes,
wait
they
to
are.
get caught. Well, I get depending.
You can't get on Shoutcast or any of those without it.
Yeah, you can't get on iHeart. They really vet you.
Well,
Yeah,
let me
Shout
see.
But
Yeah.
if you got on iHeart or something, you might end up with a lot more listeners, and it would cost a lot more.
Yeah, well, I've already
but-
Yeah,
I've already
because they
applied to
don't
iHeart to put this program on iHeart. Never heard anything back from
Yeah,
them.
me either. I can't get on there either.
No.
So you're not gonna
They're
get
just
what you
blowing
think.
smoke up your ass by saying fill out this form.
Yeah,
You
I filled it out like 5 times already.
Yeah.
You're not going to get the kind of listeners you think because even if they like what you're doing, you're not doing it 24/7. You're doing it a few hours a week.
What is the name of that site you went to?
The site that I went to is called Prometheus Radio Project. It's I'll send you the link.
What? Why? What? I don't know how that happened, but John Perulis, you did something that fucked us over here. I don't know why that happens. I think it's something that has to do with the new way that we've got this set up. But John, if you want to call, please just call directly to GabNet Live. Don't use a previous thing.
Oh, okay.
No, not
no,
you, John.
different
Not you,
John.
John. John
different
Perulis.
John.
We're not talking to John
Am I
Rockwell.
okay? Did I get on
Yeah,
okay?
you're fine.
Yeah, you're on okay. There he goes again. I don't need you to do that.
Wait a minute. He doesn't hear you. I'll write him.
Write him and tell him to shut the fuck up, or at least
He's
call.
a good guy. Don't fuck with him.
Nah, he's not.
Anybody named John is
I
a
have
good guy.
I have no
Come on, we
great
know that.
I have great fondness for him. Anyway, where are we?
Well,
You have a full house?
Hi, Alex.
I know we
That's a
do.
mistake.
I know we do. We have a full. Oh no, we do not have a full house. We're one short
Oh,
of a
we're
full
one
house.
short.
Yeah, but
I can't see everyone that's on the call. I don't know why, but ever since the beginning, it's only just been 4 people, and I mean, like I know you guys always talk about this. This Skype is a messed up deal. I don't want to touch anything to try to. Cause
now everybody else can see everybody else, right? Now, there he goes again. Stop it.
Yeah, I have the old Skype. Uh-oh, what happened there?
How do we you know what it is? It's something with this ringing using the newer Skype, and it's John. You've got to call using the Gabnet Live.
I
Okay.
handled it.
Well,
Who's John? Do you know him?
Yeah.
Yeah, John Pearlis.
Yeah, he's good.
Oh,
He's a good guy.
He's our pal, man.
well,
we-
he's not my pal.
We
Anyway.
filled
Well,
people.
I don't know
shit out.
why you
Prometheus,
would think that.
Prometheus, what? Broadcast, what?
I just sent you the link. You'll have it in your email.
Oh, okay, good, fine.
Yeah, I looked
Yeah,
at that too.
Alex, I don't know why you'd say that. He's a good guy, and he's done
Well, he's a
nothing to
good guy
hurt you.
because he's done stuff for you, but he
No. He's done nothing to hurt you.
he's not been a friend of this program. Let me put it that way. Anyway, I don't want to get into it. Okay.
right.
Oh, there's a train again.
There goes the train.
I hear the train a-coming.
Yes,
It's
John.
coming round.
He's not paying the fee
Yeah.
yet. Shh.
What?
No, the reason I logged on, I actually left you an email as well. You know somebody who's been doing a music podcast now for years. Our old mutual friend and cohort Dave Weinstein.
Yeah.
Dave's
Okay.
been doing his rock and roll hour and a half or something. He records it and he runs it, and that he did that because he realized that it would cost too much back years ago when he started it. It would cost too much for him to do it live, But if he could do like an hour and whatever, a certain amount, and then I think about every few days or at least once a week or more, he updates it with another set. He likes the old time.
No, wait a minute. Is he
WFM radio?
Is he paying?
So,
Is he paying for the use of this music?
Yes. I mean, he went through a whole thing with me years ago about that, about what you need, and it's not terribly expensive. But I would say, email him or something, or I'll tell him to email you and chat with him about it, because I mean, he's dealt with this. I don't know, if things are different now. But last time I talked to him about it was like 2 years ago. But he's been doing this consistently now for a good half dozen years, and it's all music. I mean, he talks a little in between, but it's
Who does he pay? Who does
old and new music, and I don't know if he has to keep records of anything, the way the old radio stations about one week every year, because ASCAP or somebody wanted you to write down every song that you ever wrote.
Well, no. What they said with the sound exchange is that for an extra $100 a year, you don't have to make up lists.
You don't have to make a list. Yeah.
Yeah.
As I said, I don't know what he uses now, but he's the only guy I know who's been doing music for a while. I'm sure he has a pretty good idea of what I mean. He doesn't have a lot of money to spend on this, but he loves to do this show. So it's like he found a way to do it. It's like,
So there is something here about podcasting.
Mm-hmm.
It says here podcasting is different from streaming your live broadcast online because it is on demand. Music available to stream on demand will not be covered with a Sound Exchange license. The permission to publicly perform such music will be obtained from the owner of the sound recording, usually the record label. And if you are making your podcast available for download, you must obtain additional mechanical licenses for the reproduction
So the only thing
and distribution of music.
The only thing
I'm seeing the same thing on another website.
But now let's say I have the 24/7 feed here, and let's say I have it in the 24/7 feed. That's not.
That's different. That's not a podcast.
That's streaming.
That's streaming.
And this is for streaming.
So you wouldn't make you could play a song during your program that you would put on a podcast, like this program. Let's say it's a talk program. If you played a song, it wouldn't be a big deal. But if you would not be able to make podcasts out of any of the music shows.
There's a website I just found.
But could I make a
Radio
podcast
World.
out of a show? Could I make a podcast out of the show that has music?
Because I would think it would depend on how much music you put in it.
See, this is where it all gets very confusing. Why?
You wouldn't want to do it on a music focused program. You wouldn't want to do a podcast.
If
you played a little bit of music in a podcast, I don't think it'd be a big deal.
Yeah, you'd want
because it's not the focus of the program.
Yeah,
except YouTube might hit you up on each one and say.
That might be the case. If you on the Ramble, if you were streaming, and people went to watch, you might have a problem you might get blacked out.
Yeah.
Because of YouTube. So maybe you'd have to avoid playing those songs on the Ramble.
Yeah, I know a guy who does a podcast, and when he puts on YouTube, he takes the songs off. He just doesn't play them. But on the podcast stream, he does.
Of course,
because he knows he's not going to get caught.
How do you take them off?
Well,
because he just has some. He has a whole.
You know what I find?
Like
a lot of times I will use music occasionally music on the show that YouTube that says is copywritten, and then I will get a notification that it is copywritten, but because the copyright holder is willing to take any advertising that might run before it, you don't have to worry about it, but you can't use it for any commercial purposes
You
yourself.
can't monetize it. Yeah,
So,
you can't
so it just has a copyright notice on there that there's copyrighted material, but it's okay, you know. And especially if it's an old song or something like that, and these companies just go, yeah, if you run a commercial beforehand and we get a little bit of money for that, that's fine with us, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, how do you like this, folks? This whole show is about how do you do a music show on the internet, and I have no fucking
no
idea.
music.
I have no idea what's happening with, like, you have like iHeartRadio, and they're running all their radio stations online.
That's a whole different.
Well, that's streaming.
Well,
yeah,
wait a minute.
That's streaming, and you pay additional, and the numbers get pretty steep. But you know what? Radio stations today really rely on those streams, and so they pay it.
Yeah. But you know, if I'm doing a show and it's not commercial, and it should just be one price, and I can just eat all the music I want. You know, that's what the whole story is. I can't. Who knows?
That would be great.
Yeah, because you're not monetizing it.
By the way,
I don't like a Korean barbecue.
I don't know what was happening with the call from John Perulas. But
John said he posted a picture of Andy Kaufman tearing something off. He says, well, I didn't know that Alex didn't like me. I never did or said anything against him. It's weird.
I don't want to get into that.
Well, he's a good guy, and I think that maybe
he's a good guy because he's done something for you.
No.
Just
I know him.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone. I've never liked the guy when he comes on the show.
Well,
I've never liked
him. He's a good guy,
him.
and he's a lefty.
I don't care if he's a lefty, and I don't care if you think he's a good guy because he sucked your dick.
That's wrong of you.
Well, it was wrong of you to accept the.
I don't know what this guy could have done. You must have mixed him up with somebody.
No, I didn't mix him up with anybody. Anyway, here's the.
Has he been on this platform when I was participating? Or no?
Once in a great while, and then he comes on and he just, everything he says is right. Anyway, let me just. I don't want to get into it, Phil.
All right.
Okay.
Is that the guy from Jersey?
It's a sore point.
He lives out near Phil and I. And
it's
Phil
a
and I
sore
are friends.
point with
Phil
me.
and I
But
are
anyway,
friends with him. But if Alex doesn't like him, that's fine.
Yeah.
That
doesn't mean he can't call. I just don't like him. All right.
Can't like everybody.
I'm not stopping him from calling. I just
don't. There are a few people I haven't even met offline. That online I can't stand.
Yeah, I mean, I happen to like all of you guys, but occasionally there are people who are on this panel who I don't particularly like, and they're still welcome to be part of it. I'm not going to treat them any differently. But what was he trying to? Phil, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Phil, what was he trying to do? Send something, a picture or something?
Yeah.
Oh, well, if somehow
he says he still loves you and he can forgive you, and tell him that.
I don't give a shit if he can forgive me. Look, here's the point I'm trying to make: is I'm trying to figure out why it made the new Skype go off.
Well, and if you weren't such a hard-on, maybe he'd come out and tell you.
Phil, stop exacerbating the situation, please. All right?
Okay.
All right? Drop it.
Okay. Maybe on
Jack's what I think happened is he was using a feature of the new Skype, and my new Skype, which happens to somehow be embedded in this Windows machine, took whatever picture he was trying to send. If he tried to call the program and be part of the program, he probably would have just gotten on like the rest of you. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yes, Brian.
I was just going to ask Phil, why don't you just come on Jack's program and bring him along and see what can talk tech with him or whatever.
Oh, well.
And us.
Yeah, that's not the point.
I know it's not the point. I'm just trying to make it.
Yeah. He asked me a question. I'm just going to type him back.
Yeah.
Chicken salad, the chicken shit.
Yeah, but anyway, So anyway, let's see here. Let's quit talking about how Alex is going to be able to play music or not play music.
Yeah, we could talk about something more pleasant like Mike Pence and his wife.
Oh,
What about his
Lord.
wife?
What about his
I know
wife?
it now.
The what Karen, I believe is her name, who's gone back to teaching in a school that openly excludes LGBT faculty and staff.
Mm.
Of course, it likely is a private school. It would have to be a private school.
Yeah, it's a private
But
school.
as far as the optics are concerned, this is, as you've said ad nauseum in the past, Alex, these people, Mike Pence and Donald Trump, are not just presidents of the Republican base. They're presidents of the United States of America.
Now, by the way, now John is calling.
So optics matter.
And here we
Yeah,
go.
they do.
We've got John Peroulis now. He just called the normal way. I guess it was, John, was it that you were trying to send me some kind of picture or text or whatever? Are you there, John?
I don't see him.
John, John, are you there?
Oh, I guess not.
Guess
Just a
not.
little Skype guy.
But
Well, it says he's there.
no, well, here he
There
goes.
he comes.
Here we go.
There he
Here we go. Here we go. There
There
we
he
go.
is.
Hey.
Did you try to send me a picture? Was that what that was all about? And now
Uh-oh,
You're
that
muted,
kind
I
of
think.
you're
I
muted.
think you're muted.
You're muted. You're muted.
Can't hear you.
Can't hear you. Can't hear you.
You might have to go to the Skype test call.
Wrong source.
Yeah. Yeah, you might have.
Yeah. Anyways, apparently he was probably trying to send a picture because once he tried to just call the program, he's fine. You know, except for the fact that his audio isn't working. What now? What does that say? Let me figure this out. Okay, yeah, figure it out. You know, you're up in the corner doing whatever you're doing, where the rest of us are here. Pence is a rather onerous kind of human being. And it has nothing to do with his politics. It has to do with that whole religious bullshit.
Yep.
You know, and while
Which is one and the same to me.
and by the way, I will stand up for somebody's right to religion. You know. Oh, wait a minute. I think maybe John, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you guys, but can you hear me?
Yeah.
Now we can.
Yeah.
You're feeding back a little
Yeah,
bit.
but you're feeding
Feeding
back.
back.
You've got some audio coming back. Wait a minute. It's your earbuds. Okay, so you're going to do the sound through the earbuds?
You hear me?
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
hear you. Just give yourself a little more volume if you can, and you'll be fine.
Okay.
Anyway, you were trying to send a picture or something?
No.
Full house.
Woo!
Now it's wild. Yeah.
What's the song? I forgot the song to the TV show.
So what
Oh, the
TV
Full
show?
House song.
How's that? Is that better?
Yeah,
You're low volume.
You're low volume, but we can hear you.
Yeah.
Damn. I've got everything cranked up.
Well,
All echoey now.
Okay. How about now?
Oh,
That's
fine.
better.
That's good. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Alex, I'm sorry if I offended you in some way. I always think very highly of you. In fact, I was full of joy the other night. I've just been overdosing on Andy Kaufman. When Andy Kaufman was hot, I was living in an ashram. I had a guru. I had a totally different life. And I never watched TV. I didn't even know Andy Kaufman existed. And then I started getting into it again because of Man on the Moon and Jim Carrey and all that. And I saw you in there. I mean, you introduced the guy. I think you were in Man on the Moon, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I wasn't. No, I've never. In fact, I never met Andy Kaufman.
Really?
No.
Because then they must have used you.
No.
And were you in?
Believe me, I would have known if I was in Man on the Moon.
Were you in a Bill Graham punchline thing or something back in the 80s?
Several times.
He hosted it.
Well, we did it. Yeah, we did it at Wolfgang's is what we did it at.
Oh, right. So you never met Andy Kaufman, but I thought I saw a film where you introduced him.
Never.
Oh,
Never
okay.
had. I never. In fact, I never saw Andy Kaufman perform live.
That might have been an Alex Bennett poser that introduced him.
Yeah.
You know, it could have been. It could have been somebody made to look like you, Alex. Because, I mean, that's how I was introduced to you back in the 80s. My wife and I used to watch the show on KQED all the time.
Yeah,
and
Comedy
we loved it.
Tonight.
I mean,
Comedy tonight.
yeah, right. I'm still trying to work my way around this new Skype. It's a piece of shit. But
Yeah. Well, I think what the problem was, you were trying to send me a picture of some sort, weren't you?
no, it was a picture of Andy Kaufman.
Okay. But what happened was, you tried to send me a picture, whatever remnant of the new Skype I have on this machine. I'm not using it. Somehow gets ticked off when you tried to send a picture. When you're trying to do the video, it comes right directly to the old Skype.
Oh, I was sending you a picture on your Facebook page, not on Skype or anything.
Then how come it was coming through as a? Wow, that was strange. It was coming through like you were trying to come through on
No,
Skype.
I thought. See, that's how I thought I offended you, because I found a picture of Andy Kaufman on the internet tearing off a Trump mask, and I thought, oh, that's really funny. Alex will like that because he knows Andy Kaufman. And I sent that to you on your Facebook page, and I didn't hear anything.
No, but wait a minute. A couple of minutes ago, wait a minute. Listen to me. A couple of minutes ago, you were trying to call. Were you trying to call us a couple of minutes ago?
I was calling you, Alex Bennett, and for some reason, Skype wouldn't let me through. So
you know what?
Yeah, I had to call the show.
You're probably trying to call the private Alex Bennett.
I don't think he has that.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, you do? Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, if you call that, that's
why.
probably what went off here. You know?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Anyway.
No, I love the show. I apologize if I ever said anything.
I don't know.
to-
I just get attitudes. Don't mind me, John. I'm an old
Bad attitude.
I'm an old asshole. Okay. And every now and
Alex,
then.
one time you flipped me off and screamed at me.
Did I?
That was fine.
When did I do that?
Oh, like 10 years ago. You had your camera at home or something, and I was like you were just gotten fired and you were all pissed off, and then I said, Alex isn't even there or whatever, and you looked at the camera and you go, it's me.
Well, that's okay. Getting pissed off is part of human nature, I mean, I got the thing from Wavy Gravy. I was filming him at this parade, and my wife used to be his massage therapist. So
That's a lot to massage.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah.
No, I could tell you details, but we're on a public radio show. So I'm there with my son, filming him in a parade, and he just looks at me and he flips me the bird, and I said, "Whoa, what did I do?" And do you remember that critic on the Chronicle? Oh shit!
The guy with the patch.
The drama? No, not that guy. The drama critic. He gave me a really bad review for a video I did for a dance company, and I thought it was a great video. And man, he just raked me through the coals. But I really liked that because I got noticed by the guy, Alan Ulrich. That's it, Alan Ulrich. Do you guys remember him?
No, I don't remember him at all. But anyway,
the guy I was thinking of was Warren somebody.
Yeah, Warren Hinkle.
Warren Hinkle.
Warren Hinkle,
Yeah. Okay, well, all is forgiven. We're all
okay. We're all kumbaya.
We're all good.
And Brian Ludwig has his hand up, and undoubtedly he'll have something to say about scum sucking, sperm drenching.
You're not far off. What I would say is, in the almost 2 years now, I believe it'll be 2 years in March that I've participated in this program. You ever get that way towards me, Alex, you know what'll happen in retaliation.
No,
right?
of course.
I think he'll come looking for you.
You bat a baseball in my court, I'll bat a volleyball or basketball back in yours.
Well, there are a couple of times you've actually pissed me off.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Because you were on a night where you were on a bender, about something, and you wouldn't give up on it. You just have to keep.
I argue about something passionately, especially I won't give up. As my father used to say to me, I'm like, and he's the same way. Yeah. We're like pit bulls or great white sharks. Our eyes turn white, and we won't let go until the motherfucker's shredded to pieces.
Where do you live? I got to make
That's
sure
not
I
a
don't
good
ever go there.
By the way, I have to. I have to say,
He's in Pittsburgh,
I
and
have to-
nobody does go there.
Thank
I
God.
have to compliment Skype by saying that in June of 1917 they got it right, because it looks great tonight. You know, all the people are there. They're all fitting into the screen. They've all got their names under their pictures. I mean, how great is this? It just got worse and worse and worse. And then finally they said, we can't get it any worse unless we tear it all apart and rebuild it into this absolutely impossible to use program. And that's what we have now.
I have the old one. I love it.
This one, the one we're using
Yes.
here.
I think I have the same version as you.
There's a reason why this one is immune. I don't know why, and they're probably trying to figure out at Skype right now why it is. You know.
Hey, you know, all this stuff is like a dream time for me. You know, like sometimes you're having a dream and you're trying to do something and like everything gets fucked up, right? So this happens on computers all the time. I mean, yeah, I still use Yahoo Mail, and they always change everything after like a few months. When they change the format and the interface, and they did this with Skype, and I was trying to get on the show, and like, what am I doing wrong? I had to change my password.
You know what I couldn't figure? What I couldn't figure years ago was Microsoft Word. Now, what does Microsoft Word do? You type a letter. All right? That's basically what you do.
It's got templates.
They have overhauled it and updated it and so-called improved it. And I want to know what it does now that's more than writing a letter. You know, I mean, how do you?
Suite.
It's
part of a suite that you can take Excel things and drop it into it.
Oh, that's very nice.
And
That's
you can
wonderful.
Take other stuff
Great.
and drop it in.
Great. Blow me.
But it
just
used to be easy to use. They used to have regular menus at the top, and then they put those stupid square things. No, I couldn't figure out ever how to use it again. I just stopped.
Brian,
Yeah,
Brian's got his hand up. Brian.
I was just gonna give you the concluding paragraph to this previous statement I made. A converse concluding paragraph. That if I heard someone on the like if hypothetically speaking, if I ever heard someone like Avi Ravenhoff rail against you, and when I were like in the room next to him, or if I could call in, I'd be lighting into him as well.
Oh yeah, well, you know,
Everybody can have an opinion, and and it doesn't matter. But when I stuck up. I thought the opinion was wrong, and I said something. That's all.
Oh well, how good of you.
Yeah, I would do the same thing for you.
Huh?
If you had a soul.
Oh,
I'd do the same
somebody came, every time somebody comes on this show and says something bad about you, Phil, I agree with them. I agree with them.
Hey, well, this is like a family, you know.
This is like group therapy.
See, my parents were like conservative Catholics, voted Republican through and through, and then when all this sex stuff happened, with Cardinal Law in Boston, and the guy was actually under indictment by the Attorney General of Boston, and he flees to the Vatican and he gets sheltered there. So I'm watching this on the TV, and I'm back at Cape Cod with my parents when they were still alive. And I said, geez, Cardinal Law ought to go to jail. And my dad almost threw me out of the house. He said, oh, he's a good guy. These priests deserve a second chance. And I said, ah! I went crazy. And
That's exactly what my dad is.
And I love my parents. So, like Phil, I disagree with Phil on Trump. I just no thing about that. But I love Phil. I mean, when you get to meet people in person, it's totally different. All these crazy political ideas and everything kind of fade away, and real things come.
So
out.
you can be bought, is what you're saying, because Phil is basically your run of the mill asshole. So
not in person.
Oh, I know Ray Renati too. Ray's a cool guy.
Yeah, we're all pals. Like we all three hang out, man.
Yeah. Ray's a major.
And we watch people beat the shit out of each other.
Ray's
and it's John's fault.
Hold on a second. Ray's a major prick. Okay, and
I am. Deep down inside.
The one thing you can't say about Ray is, boy, what a prick. You know, you really can't. It's impossible. Now, I noticed tonight the two comfiest people on the panel are Josh Wheeler, who's got that great. What is that? What is that? Is that one of those? I'm going to sink into the chairs.
Yeah, it's just the recliner I have down here in my downstairs. I guess you would call this my sports TV room or whatever.
Man cave.
Yeah.
I hate that term, so I never use it, but I guess that's what you would call
Rob,
it.
Rob, are you in bed?
I'm laying in the, I'm leaning up against the padded, what do you call it?
Well, so where's your wife?
She's been downstairs watching TV.
Oh, so okay, so
She's upstairs spending money buying shit on the fucking internet like everybody else's wife.
Yeah. My wife, I'm literally. We don't have a what do you call a doorman, but I've kind of become the doorman for my wife because every day 10 packages come from Amazon. I mean. And it's not like she's going out and buying the farm. She's getting like, you know, lip gloss, you know, or then she's getting like, some Afrin, you know, and it's like, it's $20 worth of stuff. It cost Amazon $40 to send, you know. What? What are you doing?
I have a massager.
Just come from Amazon.
I saw that.
Oh, it feels good. I got it for my wife. She never uses it. I use it all the time. All right, I don't want to disrupt the show. Let me turn my mic off.
Got the orgasm there.
Hey, I have a friend who's a YouTube star, woman, and she's a kind of an exotic type, you know, does a nude female monitor, photo shoots and stuff.
Yeah.
And she just on her Facebook page, she just took a picture of her dog in her living room and posted it on Facebook. Mm-hmm. And then, like, she got embarrassed because she had this whole box full of dildos, you know, different sized dildos on the couch right in back of the dog. So, Ray, you're not alone, man. You know, this.
Yeah, those are dog toys.
Dog toys.
I can do a wide shot here, and you wouldn't believe what you'd see. But I'm gonna keep it zoomed in.
All right.
What do you mean? Because of that vibrator you're wearing around your neck?
Oh, man, you gotta all get one.
You know what I like about this program? This is such a dysfunctional group of human beings. This is just amazing.
Why else would we be here? I mean, no one else. Everyone else has.
What's
like
interesting about
life.
this, about the Skype we're using? If you added another person now, they'd still fit in perfectly. And I'm amazed. Yeah. Well, if one more person can call, that'd be good. But I mean,
I don't see you, Alex. We're on my screen. I just see myself
down in the corner.
I see Alex.
There,
you had a new Skype.
If you have the new Skype, I'm probably one of the bubbles up at the top.
If you have the new Skype, you might be in a circle.
Okay, you just popped up.
Yeah, there's my bubble. Okay, you know that's what I hate about it.
Hey, can I show a little toy I just bought?
Sure, right. Is it another vibrator we're dealing with here? What's that?
GoPro Hero 7. This thing is amazing. It has a built-in stabilizer that is almost as good as a gimbal. You know, you could walk with this and.
Well, I actually have a gimbal for the GoPro. When they were making them.
I used to shop at gimbals.
And it's really good, but I understand. Yeah, the Hero 7 is pretty good for that. But they've been doing good stabilization since 5, actually. But they've gotten better and better. What I have on my 5 is a thing. It's like a Steadicam, and very smooth. No jerking around or anything.
4.
Oh, it's GoPro time.
Well, I'm going back to a camcorder. Myself. Yeah, I'm going to put out a couple of grand for a good one because, you know, I love the GoPro. And also, I can shoot 4K with my iPhone, all right? You know, and do a
Alex,
great...
go down to Adorama. They got a whole section of camcorders that you can fool around with.
I don't go... If I'm going to go, I'll go to B&H. Anyway, the point I'm making,
Yeah.
the point I wanted to make,
They're all Jews.
the point I wanted to make was that I can use my iPhone and it has steady cam in it as well, and takes 4K pictures and looks great, but there's just something about a camcorder. And the fact it's got a zoom lens on it, and you can, adjust the lighting.
Why don't you get a SLR and
because I don't want one.
But then you can
I
change the lenses.
I don't want one. I'd be happy. I don't intend to change lenses because I'd have to go out and buy lenses.
Phil, he doesn't want one.
I don't think he wants one.
No. So leave him alone, Phil.
I'm with you, Alex, on the camcorder. Sony just came out with a Dynamite 4K full frame camcorder.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what the description of it is, but it's about $2,000 at B&H right now.
Yeah.
I was thinking of picking one up for my fights. But it's a great little tool. I don't know if you want to spend that much. But.
And I look, the picture you get off a GoPro is breathtaking. It's just breathtaking. But you don't have the ability to zoom in and out. You don't have the ability to have a little heft going for you, and that's, we haven't heard a word from Jeff Stein tonight.
That's because I just got in here late.
Yeah.
And then you guys were talking about something, and I had no idea what you were talking about. So.
The music stuff?
Yeah, the music stuff.
Let's talk about something that Jeff
could answer one thing.
Well, look, we've got 9 minutes. We've got 9 minutes left of this program. Actually, before the theme, we've got 7 minutes. So, what's Trump done today that we need to talk about?
Jeff wanted to say something. You cut him off.
Yeah, I wanted to say something about the vice president.
Oh,
and you started to mention it.
Yeah.
Every time I look on YouTube, which I use for cooking and things like that.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, this dopey little video comes up with the vice president telling him about what new Christian bullshit is something like he invented Christianity himself, and it's such bullshit.
Well, I don't mind people being Christian. I mean, I do have something against religion in general, but I mean, I don't have anything against Christians. I don't have anything against any religion in particular. I only hate it. No, I only hate it when they start proselytizing.
Keep it to yourself.
Keep it to yourself. Believe what you believe, and do it.
Absolutely.
What were you going to say, Jeff?
He does it. He's on my internet 10 times a day.
I don't understand why. I
don't know.
And he's trying to proselytize. He's trying to. He would like nothing more than convert you heretic Jew, into a Christian.
Jews for Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Please, it's fine if you're a Christian. I'm not going to try and tell you your belief is full of shit, even though it is. But I'm not going to try and convince you that it is and demean you because you are a Christian. On the other hand, please don't try to convert me. I'm a Jew. I'm very happy with it. It's much easier than being a fucking Christian because I don't have to go to church and I'll still go to heaven because there's no hell.
Yeah, but we don't have to fast.
You think we do?
We fast one day a year on Rosh Hashanah. If you want to,
Passover.
You can eat pig if you want to, and the fact is, when you die, if you're Jewish, you're going to heaven. Okay, there is no hell. I felt it was the greatest selling point for Judaism that I could think of. We should have ads. It says, "Join the Jewish religion. We have no hell." Because
it's hell on earth.
There's still, like George Carlin used to say, there's still guys doing time in hell on the meat wrap.
Yeah, right. By the way, in the Kaminsky method, the guy's wife dies, and they're holding some dinner or whatever at the house after the funeral, and the rabbi comes over to Alan Arkin and says, "Hey, listen, you know you're supposed to cover all the mirrors with curtains when somebody has died." And he said, "Well, I'm not that kind of Jew, and I'm not putting curtains up all over." He said, "Well, you really should, but I'm sorry for your loss." And then he looks at him and says, "By the way, try the shrimp."
It's not kosher.
Hey, my favorite scene in a film was "Oh God," remember, with George Burns and John Denver? And George Burns has to go in front of a court, and you know, and there's Christians, a Catholic, and a rabbi, and everything, and so they all ask him, well, whose religion is the right one? And so George Burns says, you know, puffs on his cigar and he says, "I don't believe in any of them." You know, it was a great line.
Yeah, but no, the Kaminsky. I'm watching it all over again. I just love that show. The Kaminsky
Watch
method.
the joke again, and you'll find out you got it wrong.
No, I didn't get it wrong. I told you exactly as it is told on the show.
The first time you told me, you said it didn't have anything with doing the secretary or the nurse.
No, I didn't say that. I said it wasn't the old joke about I got good news, I got bad news.
This is the kind of argument I have with my wife.
The good news is you've got bad news is you've got cancer. What's the good news? I'm fucking my nurse. That's the joke, but that wasn't the joke in the show.
Bada boom.
Bada
Screwed
boom.
up the joke.
But if you haven't seen the Kaminsky Method on Netflix, you gotta watch it.
I'm gonna watch it.
You're probably right, though, Alex. Judaism could be a bigger selling point with that slogan, but you know, people want to believe that they'll be celestially rewarded for things they do in this life.
You don't have to work being a Jew. I mean, I want to go up to these Hasidim here in New York and go, "Why are you working so hard at this?" You know, you don't have to. Yes, John.
Yeah, one of the two or three really out the far end of my Facebook friends that are into every conspiracy and everything else. One that put up one of these memes.
I didn't know I was a Facebook friend with you.
Oh, well, no, are you kidding?
I know what he's talking about.
You were a
They make you
gentle
look like a
lamb.
moderate, Phil.
You were a gentle lamb and a babe in the woods compared to some of these people. But
I believe
the
it.
thing is, but this was one of these ones that said, you know, under Sharia law, you can't do this, you can't do that. It's like as if we're all going to become under Sharia law. But the last one, all in all caps, which is why I wondered whether this was actually a satirical thing that they didn't realize was no bacon. I'm like, no bacon. I don't want to be under Sharia law.
Well, yeah, Sharia law is like kosher, you know. I mean, you know, the Jews and Muslims are very similar. Okay.
Well, the person that
They're
put up
hated by all.
person that put it up was a Catholic, so I don't think they realize that it's not just Sharia that doesn't have a lot of pork in their diet.
John, you know what you should have said in response to that no bacon bullshit? You should have said, well, maybe, but if you're Chinese Taoist, you at least get to eat dog.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Anyway, hey, there's there's our theme song. That's our Brian. That's our Brian. He's a special child. Anyway, thank you, Josh Wheeler.
Brian, do you have any bump stops?
Can I please finish the show, Phil?
Phil's show now.
I had to get a joke in.
Josh, thank you so much for joining us. Love having you here.
Only yours.
Yeah, because you look so comfortable. Charlie Wallace, thank you very much. Ray Renati, always nice to have you here, and that very cute, adorable dog. Brian Ludwig, thank you. You're our adorable dog. John Perulis, we're friends again now, right, John? Okay, we're friends again. Phil Meyer, thank you so much for making us friends again.
It's my pleasure.
And
your life is better for it.
Now shut up, you motherfucker. Rob Alfano, thank you. Always love having you here. Jeff Stein, great having you. And, of course, John Rockwell. Nice to have you here as well. Why don't all you guys give it a big wave goodbye to our audience so they can wave back and I can wave at you, and that's it, okay? That's what they are. That's our citizens panel for tonight. Boy, a lot of work on that one. But it was fun tonight. You know, I've really enjoyed the shows this week, and I think it has something to do with the Skype that we're now using. Not the one they want us to use, but the one we're using. Anyway, next, Jack Bishop, The Intersection. We're back again on Tuesday, starting off at 9:30 with Damian Chaplin in the Exchange. And then at 10 o'clock, I'll be back once again with The Ramble. Same time, same station in life. And in the meantime, if you see her, tell her I love her, okay? Bye-bye.